Hi, are you looking to find a little more joy and positivity in your everyday life? Well, here we look at those daily holidays as a way to find joy in celebrating today. So today's video for September 30th, 2018, we're looking at National Hot Mulled Cider Day and International Podcast Day. National Hot Mulled Cider Day. And as we're plowing through what shortfall we get, at least here in Utah, on to winter, it's a nice tasty treat to keep warm. International Podcast Day. So one of the things that I really like about podcasts is that it helps keep me company. Sometimes I get a little tired of hearing music as I'm going around doing stuff, especially the radio, where it just gets repetitive and repetitive. But as I'm doing some of those repetitive chores like taking out the garbage, cleaning the cat box, folding laundry, doing dishes, it helps me to have something for my mind to think about. And these podcasts are really something educational as well as entertaining. So some of my favorite podcasts, Locked On Jazz. There's a whole network of these Locked On Sports podcasts, and all the different NBA teams, NFL, they all have their own separate podcast. For me, being a Jazz fan, Locked On Jazz is where it's at. I can hear all about my team and the geeky numbers behind them. Another podcast that I like to listen to is Dear Hank and John. It's by John and Hank Green, who are known on the internet as the Vlog Brothers. There's also a learning course on YouTube called Crash Course about different subjects taught in school. And they talk a lot about helping others in the world and leaving this world a better place than we found it. Another podcast by John Green is called The Anthropocene Reviewed. What that is he looks at a couple of things about the Anthropocene or society and reviews them. Gives it a 1 through 5 star review. Kind of an interesting way of looking at random things like Diet Dr. Pepper or diseases. Unfortunately, that one comes out only once a month, but still it's kind of an interesting listen. I also love a podcast called Gamers with Jobs. I like playing games, don't have a whole lot of time. They've got jobs too, they've got kids, they can relate, and they like to talk about video games in kind of that more mature, adult with responsibilities perspective. So I really appreciate that. And while there are other podcasts that I love listening to, the last one that I want to mention here, and definitely not least, is a podcast called Cox and Friends. This is a podcast put out by the Lieutenant Governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, and some of his friends and his wife and various guests from time to time. They talk about politics in kind of a nausea-free way, and also from a perspective that I really enjoy, where it's not Democrats versus Republicans, it's what can we do to help people. Besides just the politics, they talk about things like the Jazz and restaurants that they want to try, little hole-in-the-wall dive restaurants, things like that. So those are some of the podcasts that I like to use to keep myself entertained and educated while I'm trying to do some of those menial tasks and find something joyful and positive in the day. As we come to the end of September, we've now been releasing these videos for the entire month. While there are plenty of ideas to move forward every day, I'm wondering, what are some ideas that you would like to see celebrated today? Let me know in the comments, on social media, or email me at jacob@joyandcelebrating.com. And question of the day, are you gonna get a nice cup of hot mulled cider and listen to a podcast? If so, what kind of podcast do you like listening to? Let us know, and don't forget to find joy in celebrating today.